Gennady Golovkin has said recently that he has not officially retired because he doesn't want to be like these other fighters who will say, "Oh yeah, I'm retired," and then they come out of retirement because they got a itch or a certain feeling of coming back and actually putting on a good fight or chasing some money. Anything, whatever the situation is. Triple G in his mind, he's like, "Hey, I can probably get a fight that I was looking for all these years at a certain weight class, or I could probably feel like I could still compete with these guys um, overall." And with me knowing the way boxing is, with Triple G having a decent jab and him being able to be conditioned in a fight, and the punch resistance is always a question. But with a guy like Bernard Hopkins and the way he's done things, and other fighters overall, and we look at Triple G as a throwback fighter, and he's a guy that could possibly can come back and out of retirement. That's one person I would never doubt of coming out of retirement and actually fighting. Even a guy like Andre Ward, sometimes people look at and feel like he can come out of retirement and actually fight. But Triple G, I don't know if he's saying this because he's just saying, people always want to come back out of retirement like Jordan. But I feel like he really does love boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at what he's doing now, he's training guys. He's not in the best shape right now because he's relaxing. Dude's been cutting weight and everything else for the past 20, 30 years. So he's trying to be in basically the most comfortable he can be as far as his natural weight and what he wants to walk around with and whatever he wants to eat and drink. He's living a different lifestyle right now, but he says he continues to train. And I feel like you can't put on a timeline on certain people. That's why I say we can't really ask certain fighters to retire, or I feel like he's done or anything like that, because some of these guys, man, they got the fire for the fight even longer. I remember a long time back when Oscar De La Hoya, he was doing celebrity fights and everything like that, and I felt like Oscar was a guy who could still come back and fight. And from what I've seen, Oscar did come back a couple of times and fight, even when he was doing certain exhibitions and things like that. We got to realize Oscar was fighting in the early 90s and on into the late 2000s. So that's a long time. That's like 20 years. And Oscar was contemplating retirement, and he seen the money that was coming through and the impact he still had on the sport. So a lot of people look at certain situations that other boxers have had in the past. You get advice. You also have people like Gennady Golovkin, who has family and a brother who's associated with boxing. And I'm pretty sure Triple G, he gets a lot of advice from his family, and they tell him, hey, you can definitely still be interested in boxing without having to retire or have a top fight or a big fight. You can still go around and do certain things if you're interested in doing it. It's not a bad thing to go out and fight a guy at 43, 44. Not that everybody's trying to be like Floyd Mayweather or anything like that, but it's boxing, man. Like, even a basketball player, you can't tell a guy when to stop dribbling or anything like that. Like, it's certain things you can't lose a passion for. That's his passion. That's what he likes doing. He doesn't know how to draw or whatever. From what I've known, he's not known for drawing or for being an engineer or building things. He's known for punching people and fighting and putting combinations together. And that's where his love and desire comes from. But everything else, it can change. Everything else can change in life. That's why he knows that going in retirement could be a bad thing, because you'll put a label on yourself and then you'll cut out opportunities. So Triple G putting out there, hey man, I'm not retiring because an opportunity can come and I might be interested in that opportunity, and I might just leave the things I'm doing right now alone, and I would be intrigued in that opportunity, and I might take that opportunity and go with it. But if he doesn't, then that'll be something different. But if he does take that opportunity, it'll be a good thing for him. I think a lot of things that Triple G's been doing over the last couple of years have been kind of leaning towards retirement, but overall, with me knowing, I know he hasn't retired yet officially. I know a lot of people said that, oh yeah, he should do whatever he wants. I seen a couple of outlets saying that he was retired, speaking for him, but from what I'm hearing, he never told anybody he was retiring. So that whole time, people were speaking for him out of turn. But I think Triple G can definitely still compete at a high level. I don't know. I don't want to sit up here and put a label on him like he's done or anything like that, because he's always taking tough fights. But we'll see. But I definitely feel like that's interesting for him to say that right now, especially with the thing that's going on in Saudi Arabia, everywhere else. You got guys like Kell Brook and Sergey Kovalev coming out of retirement. I wouldn't say retirement, or just layoffs and just long time off. There's a lot of fighters from his generation that's still uh, messing around with boxing and still interested in making big fights or just any kind of fight, whatever is offered. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.